Mr. Speaker, it has been nearly 5 months since President Biden nominated Julie Su to be Secretary of Labor. That nomination remains stalled. The Senate has declined to confirm her, and she now faces bipartisan opposition. And yet, the President has not withdrawn her nomination. Worse yet, Su is continuing to serve as Secretary of Labor in an acting capacity, despite the Senate declining to put her in that position. It appears that this is now the plan, to simply cancel the vote and carry on as if she'd been confirmed. Su's leading supporter in the Senate, Bernie Sanders, said as much. He said, "I hope she has the votes to become the secretary. If not, of course, she should stay where she is." "She's doing a great job," Sanders continued. "Why would you not?" Well, why would you not? One simple reason is the Constitution. This is blatantly an end run around the Constitution's advice and consent requirement of Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2. As further evidence of the Biden administration's plan to simply keep Su on indefinitely, with or without a vote, after months of Department of Labor rulemaking being put on pause to spare Su negative press during the confirmation process, the wheels are now back in motion. The administration seems to be acknowledging that Su does not have the votes for confirmation, but again, plans to keep her at the helm of the Labor Department anyway. Now, this administration has a disturbing pattern of seeking to do by undemocratic means that which it cannot do by democratic means. For example, on the topic of student loan forgiveness, President Biden had said, "I don't think I have the authority to do that," and then he went ahead and did it anyway by executive order. On the issue of independent contracting, Congress has declined to adopt the destructive ABC test via the PRO Act, so the Labor Department is seeking to enact a functionally equivalent legal standard by rulemaking. But this here is the most brazen example yet. Having made the worst possible pick for Labor Secretary, which the United States Senate is rightly rejecting, the President is trying to install his nominee as the permanent secretary anyway. Now, the student loan executive order, of course, was just struck down by the Supreme Court. But what the administration is attempting here is much more potentially disruptive. What is at issue is not just one policy. Rather, it is every action the Department of Labor takes under Acting Secretary Su that will be put under a legal cloud. Now, Su's allies have tried to make a legal argument relating to the interplay of the Federal Vacancies Reform Act and the statute that created the position of Deputy Secretary of Labor. This argument is without merit. There is no statutory authority to have an acting secretary who has been nominated for permanent secretary continue serving indefinitely with or without confirmation, nor could there be, because any such statute would violate the Constitution. Education and the Workforce Chair Virginia Fox and I have sent a letter to Gene Dodaro, U.S. Comptroller General at the U.S. Government Accountability Office, requesting an opinion on the legality of keeping Su at the head of labor indefinitely. But none of this should be necessary. The White House and Julie Su have had every opportunity to persuade the Senate. They have had a nightly war room and daily arm twisting for months. It is well past time to withdraw the nomination and for the President to nominate a labor secretary who will be on the side of American workers.